while we
No,
wait.
we should have it. It should be happening here shortly.
Hello?
Mild chaos.
Hey
Hello.
there.
How's it going?
Pretty good. We were just debating how to say your name, so we apologize terribly because we're probably going to get it wrong.
It's okay. Most people
Is
get
it,
wrong.
let me guess, Sam?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah! Good job, guys. I think we all got that right. I think our first instinct, we all have that same first instinct. But anyway, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so for conversational purposes, I'm KY. You can just call me KY, and I'll call you Sam.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so do you want to tell us at all about Disorder before I start playing, or should I just jump right in?
You can just jump right in and I'll talk about it.
Okay, sounds good. I'll just start playing. When I boot it up, by the way, there is no title screen. It just jumps right into this.
Yeah, that should be right.
Yeah, KY like the jelly, pretty much.
Okay.
I can jump.
So, Disorder is started out as like a student project a while ago. We had the initial concepts for it, and then we began to actually work on it our senior year. This beginning room is sort of like a puzzle / tutorial.
Oh, did you want me to screen share with you so that you can actually see in real time, so it's not like a 30-second delay, because Twitch delay is pretty immense?
Sure.
Yeah, let's try it. Ooh, it has kind of like an inversion type thing. Hang on. Skype. Share screens. Right there. I don't know if this is gonna mess with the screen at all, but on Skype you should be able to see my screen now.
It's loading.
There we go.
But basically, the game's main mechanic is like a world switching kind of thing. So you switch between two different levels.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it kind of like, have you played the game Inversion, the platformer?
No.
It has a really similar mechanic, and it's funny because it also has this very creepy vibe, very similar to this.
Okay, I'll
but
check it out.
yeah, it's called Inversion. But if I remember correctly, I was reading a little bit about Disorder on your webpage. You said this game won a lot of prizes at the school in which you started the project, right?
Yeah, we won best game of the show at our school, and we also won a local competition here at in Austin, Texas, for a student game competition. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. I like how you can see the other world in the background a bit. Let's see.
Yeah. This area is sort of teaching you how the worlds work and like where you can switch and where you can't switch.
Right. How many people are working on this? I think it was 4 people. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's 4 people. I do level design and programming. We have Matt, who does programming. He writes the narrative and does some design stuff too. And Sebastian does all the art. And Alex Previty does all the sound and music.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
if you notice in the there's also like sort of 2 tracks playing
Mm-hmm.
in each world. It's
Right.
like sort of the same track, but there's like different effects on each.
Right, yeah, different timbres are used.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I really like a lot of the detail that's put into this, between what you just said with the tracks changing when you switch worlds, but also when you swap, there's this kind of like TV blinky glitchy effect when you swap. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
just straight out swap, and that's pretty cool. It's got a lot of nice details like that. I like that. So how many years have you been working on this then? I think, what was it, 3 years or so?
No, it's been, I mean, from the conception, it's been a while, but we've been like working on this version for like a little over a year.
Okay, got it. I don't know why I said 3 years. Just ignore that. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of, it's a really good mix. It's a mix of all the best parts of a lot of different platformers that come to mind. Like another person brought up Time Fuck, which was an Evan McMillan game before Super
Yeah,
Meat
actually,
Boy
if you look
Eclipsed.
at the character's, like his hoodie, you
Mhm.
can see the guy
Oh, yeah, there's a little Steven
yeah.
on his hoodie. Oh, okay. Very cool.
So these are little like story areas where you can sort of read the narrative, and there's sort of this backstory of you kind of find out about the main character's relationship with his brother and his past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's loosely based off like schizophrenia a little bit. That was the
Right.
original inspiration for the game.
Right. I mean, it's functional from I guess a storyline standpoint, and a way that the gameplay is a metaphor for that in a lot of ways because you're switching between the two worlds.
Right.
Okay, so those platforms move when I'm swapped. How's the volume level, guys? Guys in the chat, let me know if the game is too loud or anything. How old are you guys? You said this was in college, I assume, not like
Yeah, we
high
just
school.
finished college, so most of us are around like 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're learning how to be adults currently in the real world.
Yeah, I found that college was definitely a big time for that. Like that's when you learn to, I guess, you have kind of an unprecedented level of independence right around the time you hit college, and it's just like, whoa, how do I deal with that? Yeah. Volume's good. All right, cool. Oh, the guy over here. Oh no, it switched me.
Okay, you're at the end of the level 1, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
What percentage of the game
so I'm
is?
just watching the stream.
Oh, you're just watching the stream? Alright, I'm just gonna turn off the screen share in Skype then. Just because it takes up, like, resources and stuff. Alright. There we go. So what percent complete is the game, would you say?
I'd say it's like 80 to 90. We're on like, we basically have our scope done. We're just polishing stuff up. Like that first level, our artist recently just finished a lot of extra art.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be in the public demo when it's out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you were building this for the first time and you were first making the prototypes, did you make a lot of this art simultaneously with the game, or did you design the mechanics and just do like totally placeholder graphics and design all the levels like that first?
The art's been through a couple of iterations, so we sort of did the art at the same time, but it's changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The original art was more like, it kind of looked like Hyperlight Drifter.
Hyperlight
colors,
Drifter,
so
yeah.
pink and turquoise kind of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I could probably bounce on this guy. Okay, when he's in a certain world, he's bouncy. In the other world, he's bitey.
Right. Yeah, we try to show the mechanics in a way that, make the player feel smart about learning them, instead of just kind of being like, this is what happens when this happens. It's just like you go through the mechanics and learn what
You basically design a level that naturally teaches you the mechanics rather than flat out saying what those mechanics are.
Right.
Yeah, and that's really good. I was just saying on stream the other night how a lot of recent games just have way too much hand-holding, even just in tutorials. Like, I don't know what your tastes are with gaming, but I'm playing through Mario & Luigi Dream Team on 3DS, and that game has an unbelievable amount of tutorial. Like, I think I'm about 5 hours in and I still haven't unlocked all the basic mechanics. And when there is a mechanic unlocked, it just sits you down and just explains it to you at great detail and length, and it's like, man, just let me figure it out and play it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, it's definitely very much like a... Ow, I just hit my elbow on my desk. It's very much just like Time Fuck, except more open, I guess, because Time Fuck was full of self-contained levels, like just single screen designs. And this has kind of more of an... I don't want to say open world, but this is all very seamless. It just goes checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint.
Yeah.
And that's really nice.
I think Time Fuck also has like 3 dimensions at one point.
I don't remember. I don't think I ever beat Time Fuck, because it's been ages since I played it, and I played a little bit of it. Or I played I played a lot of it, but it's been so long that I don't remember any of it. I definitely didn't beat it. I remember that much. Oh. So right now, I assume the only plan right now is Steam. I know someone in chat just brought up Vita. Do you think that would be a possibility?
It would be cool, but I have no idea how we would do that.
Yeah, I can imagine how feeling out. Wait, hang on. Oh crap, I fucked that up. I can imagine feeling out. It must be really hard to feel out that process as a new starting indie company. Which, by the way, your company, let me remember, is it Swagabyte Games?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So yeah, I can only imagine that that whole process must just be really surreal. Was it surreal even just being on Greenlight, or were you prepared for that, or?
So we won that student competition, and during the middle of it, we were like, we should really have a Greenlight page because we had a booth at this conference, and we didn't have a website to tell people about. So we started it, and then that's when it was like, okay, we definitely, we're going all in with this thing.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Ugh. Oh, okay, I gotta swap there. Oh, but if I swap, then the platform will stop moving. Oh, that was dumb. There we go. Now we got it. What games have you worked on before this? I know that this is probably your first really big release, but what kind of stuff were you tinkering with before you came up with Disorder?
I mean, as a team, we worked on a couple of Game Jam games. We made a game called Can I Take Disorder, which is about you play as a old guy that works at a fast food restaurant, and you have to type people's orders, but they have a certain dialect they speak in. So you have to type certain words in almost a misspelled way, and you have to do it in a certain amount of time, and you can also spit in their food and stuff to relieve stress.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And I've just made a bunch of small games. I've made a game called Get That Swag, which is a 2-player competitive platformer where it's sort of like the old Mario Bros game where you're kind of jumping on each other and trying to get coins.
Right, yeah, just a one-on-one platforming competitive multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Should I be going up or down, or I assume it doesn't really matter?
As long as you're going right. You're
yeah.
Yeah.
Move there.
When you get to there's going to be a little ad for Greenlight at the end. Let me know, because I want to show a little extra at the end. I want to show some further mechanics.
Okay, absolutely. The courage to look at brother, he frightened me.
Sorry we've been so quiet, guys. We muted our microphone and shoved chips in our face.
Not even in your mouth, just into your face.
Oh yeah, the general area.
Direct facial consumption of chips. I did not get this far in the game. I didn't get the chance.
That is very depressing, but it's very cool too. It's very cool.
You can tell by now it's a pretty dark game.
Yeah, to say the least, but I like it. It's nice to see a game that is trying to, I guess, marry really good gameplay mechanics with, I guess, the atmosphere and I don't want to say message necessarily, but an atmosphere and a backstory. Because a lot of times, a lot of games have one or the other. They're either, at least these days, they're really heavily into the story zone or heavily into the gameplay mechanics zone. Someone brought up Braid in chat earlier, and I guess that's also a valid comparison because Braid had the storybooks.
We've gotten that comparison a lot, which is, I think of it as a compliment because that game is really amazing.
Braid is phenomenal. Yeah, I love Braid. But all right, so we're at the green light part at the end.
Okay, press the letter U just once.
U. All right.
Did that
Debug
go to another
stage.
level? Did that go to another level?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably have you stop playing at a certain point in that level.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever works best.
I think it's the third or second checkpoint, but.
So these are what are they called? The excursion funnels from Portal 2, except in 2D. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating to say oh, is this is just A and B from that game? Does that frustrate you? Sorry.
No,
I just realized.
It's an easy way to sort of digest the mechanics of the game. If they're like, oh, it's like this, if that's something they like, then that's great.
Yeah, I always wondered if that bugged people, but
It depends on what you compare the game to, just from my personal experience. If you get compared to the same game enough, it can be a little frustrating.
right.
It's weird when people on Greenlight are like, this looks like Terraria, and I'm like, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing the first gameplay trailer for Spelunky, and which, by the way, I'm a ridiculous Spelunky fan, but I remember seeing the first gameplay trailer for the new Spelunky, and someone going on this rant about how it ripped off Terraria and all these things, and I was just like, Terraria, Spelunky came first, but yeah. But yeah, I understand that. People, they see a screenshot and they just notice that maybe some of the pixel art looks like some of the pixel art from Terraria, and they're like, oh, it's like Terraria. That must be so infuriating.
Yeah, I think it's more of a problem of misrepresenting what your game is like.
Yeah, if somebody says, oh, it's just like this, and it's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's like, it must be really frustrating. I really like this mechanic right here where you swap into like the lake almost. I want to call this a lake, but
So I'll probably have you stop just right after this.
okay.
Complete thing.
That's perfect because we're almost out of time anyway, so that works out well.
Whoa.
Also, the music goes into half step when you're upside down, which is really cool. So it slows down.
Yeah, it's like super slow. Like that's a huge difference. Like before, the differences were more subtle. Not to say it's worse or better, but before it was more subtle. Here, it's like, wow, that's a lot different. Kind of reminds me another one. It kind of reminds me of is Starseed Pilgrim. Have you played that?
Yeah, I have. I think I almost beat it.
Yeah, when you go into the negative world of Starseed, the music and the sound design just changes entirely, and that's what that reminded me of. Alright, so now I'm on the platforms just after the lake.
Okay, I think we can just stop here.
Yeah, that was really good that you brought up that this level right here, because it shows that there are a lot of great ways to use the world swapping mechanic that actually a lot of games haven't done.
The reflection thing is probably my favorite mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my favorite too. I like that a lot. That was really cool. But yeah, that's about it. This game is called Disorder. It is on Greenlight. Moobot posted it a couple times. Please go upvote it if this is something that you think you'd be interested in. Do you have a price point set?
Not right now, but it probably won't be more than $5.
Hey, that's perfect. That's awesome. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm a huge puzzle platformer guy, so it's hard for me to not really enjoy games like this. But Swagabyte Studios Disorder, check it out.
Yeah, our website is disordergame.com, and you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/disordergame. I'm on Twitter, Sam Palavan. I'll post it in the chat.
Sure.
And I also have a website, sampalavan.com. I also host a podcast where I talk to indie game devs / other game devs called the Loading Screen Podcast. I think it should be on iTunes now, and you can also go to loadingscreenpodcast.com.
Loading Screen Podcast. I'll remember that because I'm just very recently getting into podcasts for the first time in my life. Yeah. So I'll have to check
Tomorrow
that out.
I actually have the creator of the Stanley Parable.
Oh, Davey Reedon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Then I'll have to listen to that. He did a podcast himself for a little while called Playdate, and that was really good. I wish they would do more. But yeah, all right. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm going to get moving on to the next game. Alex, do you know if the developer for Master Spy is available?
He is ready and waiting. We will just add him to the call in just a second here.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing the game, and thanks Robot Loves Kitty for doing all this.
Yeah, no, our pleasure. Thank you so much for making the game. I'm glad that we could show it to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too.
Yep, see you later. All right.
Are you ready to switch over?
I am ready as I'll ever be. All right.